you ever know is 100% true. The government is reptilian overlords. Joe Rogan is in on it. Elon Musk is in on it. Tiger Woods is in on it. You can check my story. I've been messaging them. I am forgetting and knowing that is how I created the plan. I can't do the plan if I knew it the whole time because I'd be cracking up, so I make myself forget. I am infinitely intelligent, so I can make myself forget.
Conor Murphy once had a reputation as an extroverted, disciplined go-getter whose athleticism easily rivaled other top-tier fitness influencers. However, as the years rolled by and Conor's channel faded into irrelevance, his mental state would sadly decline alongside it.
I used to be so happy when I was a kid.
This is called Tom's Market. I love this place because the Gospel of Thomas is where it's at. See, the people who wrote the Bible or...
I was actually put into a psych ward for over 2 weeks.
When in the psych ward, he said he was God. He was offered antipsychotic medication.
Every emotion in me is just rapid fire.
The whole universe is me. I am consciousness.
I know that Mom has a stronger belief in heaven than you, Dad. It's in essence, you can feel it. You can feel God within someone.
Now this, ladies and gentlemen, is a man who has officially lost his mind.
Breakdowns, psych wards, strange podcasts, and the belief that he had become God were all captured right here on the YouTube platform, with his path to insanity beginning on the 9th of January 2016, when Conor Murphy would post his very first video titled
POV did DMT once.
The video began by
you're not
when he was younger he wasn't really the coolest kid in his class, before going on to show numerous photos of his skinny younger self. This would all change when he began to hit the weight room at the age of 13, building a pretty reasonable physique in the 4 years that followed. However, this had become even more impressive by his 21st birthday, having built his body to the point where he could stand out as a fitness YouTuber on the platform. He began by posting
Wait, did he do it? Wait, he actually did I guess we'll find
simple workout and nutrition guides, in which it was clear that Conor had a genuine desire for improving the lives of his viewers.
It's to help you look as impressive as you possibly can for your next Instagram picture or YouTube video. Everyone wants to look good. I'm gonna help you guys out.
These instructional videos were interwoven with basic fitness pranks, such as pretending to be a fitness mannequin in the mall. However, it would be when Conor posted the first video in what would become his Aesthetics on Omegle series that his channel began to explode. The premise of the series was pretty basic. He'd wait to match with females on Omegle before taking his shirt off and simply recording their reaction. Within 6 months of posting his first Aesthetics on Omegle video, Conor Murphy had passed 100,000 subscribers. However, the most notable part about this video was the information it revealed to Conor. People were interested in watching him take his shirt off in front of girls, spawning a new series of bizarre prank type videos in which he would leave the bedroom and instead look for excuses to take his shirt off in public. There were classics such as Conor Murphy shirtless on the roof of Chipotle, Conor Murphy goes grocery shopping, and who could forget how to impress a girl instantly.
So if I can impress you in just 1 second, I get both of your numbers. So when does the timer start? Right now? So here's my phone, you guys can just put your numbers in.
The videos were incredibly cringy, however this was offset to some degree by Conor's self-awareness and likable attitude in the beginning.
I really hope you don't think that I'm too much of a douchebag, but even if you do, please subscribe because my view to subscriber ratio is getting absolutely insane.
However, even with the likable attitude, without context the videos were incredibly easy to roast. Individuals such as H3 True Productions, who was reigning supreme in the commentary genre at the time, uploaded this video titled "My Girl is Leaving Me for This Guy" to an audience of over 9 million.
So what do you think about Conor Murphy? First thing I think when I look at this guy is that when he's having sex, he's watching himself in the mirror. You know what I'm saying?
And while most YouTubers would see this level of criticism as a negative, it simply gave Conor Murphy another opportunity to display his humility.
Ethan Klein from H3 Productions. I've honestly been a long time
It's just funny that chat always says Giga Chad at anybody or anything that is cringe but not hated, right? But anything is hated, it's pepper pains and haha. That's how it is. Anybody at all, anybody who's absolute cringe lord, right? But nobody really hates them. They just chat.
Subscriber. All of his videos are hilarious, including his recent one.
My idol, Conor Murphy.
I think it's the best one yet. So you guys should totally go check it out.
Providing a pathway for Conor Murphy to hit 1 million subscribers only a year and a half after beginning his channel. However, while such a milestone would have been incredibly exciting for Conor Murphy, it seemed to trigger a serious decline in his motivation for making videos, as only 6 months after achieving 1 million subscribers, he disappeared from the platform for over 5 months. Upon returning, he'd upload only 8 videos within the space of a year, less than 1 per month, with only half of them cracking the 1 million view mark. As a result, Connor Murphy's average monthly view count began to tumble. He'd go from 20 million views per month at the beginning of 2018 to less than 5 million per month by the beginning of 2019, only 12 months later. In addition to his 5-month break, his decline in viewership had also been aided by a reduced interest for prank-related videos. In 2016 and 2017, his ideas were fresh and on par with the YouTube meta at the time. However, they were certainly feeling a little dated by 2019. As 2020 rolled around, the prank genre had not only become even more dated, but Connor was facing a new problem. Almost all of his viral ideas required outdoor social interaction with females, which had been halted by US lockdowns, forcing him to return to older video ideas.
And I know it has been forever since I've made an Omegle video, but since it's pretty much the only type of content I can film right now, I figured it was time to do another one.
Connor returned to the streets whenever lockdowns were lifted.
On 6th Street, thank goodness it is back, like the good old days.
However, the overall limitation would drop his monthly view count to less than 3 million per month, forcing Connor to try a new career path. With a sane and coherent mind, Connor Murphy made the decision to move to LA in pursuit of becoming an actor, and while the potential of a new career path was incredibly exciting, this would be the point at which things began to go downhill rapidly.
For a while now, he's come under fire for his physique essentially deteriorating. Compared to when he first started YouTube, he's kind of like, doesn't look nearly as good as when he first started. It looks like he's probably lost about 10 to 15 pounds of muscle.
While Connor's physique was still incredibly impressive by average standards, it was becoming increasingly obvious that his body wasn't built to the same standard as it had been in the early days of his channel.
Is it just me, or is Connor looking a little smaller and less shredded? Not hating, just noticing. Bro, your videos are awesome, but what's wrong with you? You don't look like a bodybuilder, your abs are disappearing, you don't look shredded. Focus on your physique more, bro, although I enjoy watching your vids.
Connor explained the reason for his loss of gains to be
body fat percentage. And over the course of the last few months or whatever, I've probably gained like one.
Guys, I did the opposite. Guys, I did the opposite. I did the opposite. Look. See that? Look at me before and after. Look at that, and then look at.
You gamble on getting good skins for a game you don't play. Why the fuck should you be able to trash
Holy!
NFT? Stop being a hypocrite.
Guys, that is raw material brick stone.
The second thing, man, is lighting.
However, others speculated that his weight loss might have been the result of some kind of addiction.
I don't look that skinny, do I?
You might, man.
Maybe.
You lost.
I mean, you're definitely bigger than me, but yeah, I have lost a lot. Well,
you weigh less. You weigh less than me by a lot now because you've lost 31 pounds.
Something like that, yeah.
These suspicions would be confirmed to some extent when his friend and fellow YouTuber, Patrick Lyons, would upload a video explaining that in early 2020, Connor tried psychedelics for the first time.
Connor has taken a substance called ayahuasca. For the first time, he took it about a year ago, and when he took it a year ago, it is what led to the first period of concerning video content creation on his part related to what he called enlightenment.
The mentioned concerning video content began with this video in late 2020 titled Why I Deleted My Old Videos and How to Access Them, in which his audience...
Guys, I want to my channel, I want to have rants about fucking, what do you call it? I would call this, like, drug,
xQc, so this
PSA,
guy ate his own
PSA,
sperm and took insane drugs that killed his brain,
you'll often see a narrative in the chat and online, okay,
no
saying shit like, yo dude, this drug and that drug is impossible to overdose, it's not toxic, it's natural, and people have a bunch of fucking narratives and shit like that, right? And it'll say, a bunch of people did it. The problem is these types of drugs are in the class of psychedelics, and the problem with those sometimes is that they kind of, in your head, open new doors that are normally closed in terms of ideas, if you may, and then you explore certain parts of whatever, right? And then you kind of like change some stuff in there, and then once you kind of come down, that you kind of reclose them, whatever. Sometimes, you know, some things like these will happen where they like kind of break a bunch of shit, and then they kind of come down, and boom, now you're kind of, you know, it can, I'm not saying everybody, but it can happen that you kind of you know, rearrange some wires, if I may, right? So yeah, you know, be careful. You know,
will witness the first example of Connor giving up his old gym-related branding, replacing it with a much more hippie vibe, wearing a hoodie and necklace while standing in front of a damp rainforest poster. Throughout the video, Connor would discuss—
I can't speak for shit. I'm sorry, dude. It's just because I'm trying not to sound like I know everything, but I'm just trying to, because I see often in chat when chat says, "Oh, dude, mushrooms, dude, you can't overdose, bro. It's not dangerous." Yeah, dude. Physical death, okay, is a completely different topic than going fucking mental. Okay, sometimes even the slight things can and it will make you mental depending on how prone you are and how flexible. And sometimes things snowball, right? And when shit breaks and kind of goes, it snowballs like fucking crazy. And that can happen. And I hate to say it, I've seen it with a lot of friends and acquaintances, and it's not fun or cool or whatever. Motherfucker, man, I've seen some. One of our friends back when I was there, but he did some fucking spice, some K2, which is a completely different topic. But I mean, he went fucking complete mental, man.
Discuss the many downsides of success in a relatable, articulate, and intelligent manner.
I reached this point of success. The great physique, the girls, the money.
It is different though, but still.
And while his new introspective message might have resonated with some, in the months that followed, it became blatantly obvious that Connor Murphy was diving deeper into what you might call the spirit realm, as his ramblings became increasingly incoherent.
Through deep meditation and consciousness work, you can realize that you can be free of the compulsive nature behind thought. Of course, you will still think, but there won't be any addictive qualities to that thought. You can detach from your thoughts and be the observer of the thoughts, rather than identify with the thoughts. That is probably the biggest addiction of all.
At around the same time, Connor would post a picture to his Instagram holding a graduation certificate alongside a caption reading, "I am now..."
Guys, it's not even a question mark, guys. What he said is somewhat true and an accepted thought. Okay. I also had another friend, genuine thing. Like, I'm not advocating for anything. It's just an anecdote. Okay. Settle down. Okay. My friend would keep smoke cigarettes at the time. Like he was like all the time, like chain smoker or whatnot. Like, and then he took a certain amount of psychedelics or whatever, right? And then you know, you could tell he was like very thinking, and he was kind of like busted, right? And then I'm not kidding. The next days, he never smoked again, right? So yeah, that can happen. You know, like.
Officially a doctor. That's right, I received an honorary doctorate in spirituality from the Los Angeles Development Church, an institute simply from making a donation. This honorary degree lets me legally use the doctor title in front of my name. I can legally be referred to as Dr. Connor Murphy.
Man.
His former friend and fellow YouTuber Patrick Lyons, who had originally updated everyone on Connor's ayahuasca use, then went on to explain that Connor's dosage had increased substantially.
He took that ayahuasca the first time a year ago.
But don't do it though.
And I don't know where along the lines these things happened, but he has increased his frequency of consumption to every 2 hours.
Which would also be reiterated by another friend of Connor called Jane.
I asked Connor, how often do you do ayahuasca? And he said, every 2 hours.
Connor's extreme dosage would become apparent.
Okay, dude.
When a channel called Micah would upload a video titled "We Went to Save Connor Murphy," in which Connor's apartment could be seen in complete and utter disarray, shown similarly in Jane's video.
I drove my car to Connor's apartment complex. There were a bunch of boxes and trash bags in front of his door. We went inside his apartment, and this is what I saw. The stack of boxes was so huge that it took up half of the apartment and spilled out through the front door. Connor apologized for it being so messy, but said that he hadn't had time to clean because he'd been so busy making content.
I've just been so focused on getting up all this content. I just haven't had time to clean.
That's why I'm here. So I just started unboxing the mountain of packages, and it was a bunch of totally random stuff. Just a few of the things were a Harry Potter invisibility cloak, 12 cans of oxygen, and a cat tower. I asked him if he had a cat, and he said no.
Before he'd go on to imply that he'd completely given up on his bodybuilding diet.
How you been getting all your calories in?
Wrong. I just eat whatever I want now.
Later in the video, Connor's mental health problems would be put on full display.
My name is Stewie Griffin in Belle Delphine. You like this? I'm about to eat some vegan macaroni and cheese. Vegan. It's made out of plants, just like your...
When the two guys who were filming the video left Connor's house, they'd receive this call.
A giant Zoom call. The world is on a giant Zoom call, please. I'm begging you, man. I'll pay you anything. Please, get over here.
Dude, yeah, I'll let you know. We probably will.
I will give you all the money in the world. It's a worldwide Zoom call.
All right, bro.
Okay, thank you. Please come back here. Thank you.
Dude, oh my... Showing that it clearly wasn't fake. In other videos, Connor appeared more sane. However, there were still signs of mental illness, such as this video in which he would attempt to pick up girls by telling them that he had become God.
I am God.
Okay.
I'm God. Yeah. How do you feel about that?
I mean, why do you think you're God?
Guys, just so I have a moral foot on this, I think that was kind of weird though. Calling him like that and then acting weird on camera and then be like, oh, we didn't go, fuck this guy. I think that's just being weird. Yeah, you're a shit friend, but you're also kind of a weirdo. I don't know. I don't like it.
Interesting. So, well, why do you think that I even exist?
Connor's god complex would then lead him to produce even
Rian Chat says it's proof. Okay. Proof of what? Has a crime been committed? Is there an issue that needs to be reported on or proven? What proof of what? What are you talking about? Proof of what? Of the content creation fucking tribunal? What the fuck are you talking about, man?
Stranger videos, such as this one titled Failing to Enlighten My Parents, in which he would sit in a Zoom call rambling incoherently to his mother and father for an hour and a half straight.
If you truly had faith and you knew that heaven on earth existed, that's the only thing you'd be searching for. You wouldn't be working, you wouldn't be stressing. All you would be doing is doing everything you can to experience heaven on earth.
Accompanying these incoherent ramblings was a complete overhaul of his Instagram from a former aesthetic showground to a psychedelic wasteland.
He's starting to wear like costumes and shit, and he's like going around at nighttime doing weird stuff, and he starts posting these Mario became enlightened when he realized that he is the pixels. You are living in the Matrix. Connor that call me the Happy Hatter, and he's wearing some costume.
In the early days of his channel, Connor had talked about his passion for golf.
My two main, more serious sports were basketball and golf. I played those both in high school, and I play golf in college right now.
Which would be reignited in the strangest way after he had become enlightened, as explained by Derek from More Plates, More Dates.
I look at my DMs, and I'm in this weird group, and it's called like Connor's like enlightened cult or something. The members of this group, it's like Connor, me, Tiger Woods, the PGA Tour, Keemstar, like the weirdest smorgasbord combination of individuals ever. And Connor is just like posting weird voice messages in his Matthew McConaughey accent. And I'm like, what are we doing here, dude? Like, what is going on? And presumably his enlightenment sort of led him towards the realization that he was going to win a major golf tournament professionally, as far as I understand.
In the same video, Derek would go on to explain that Connor had gone so far off the rails that he began posting his saved passwords to his public Instagram.
Him showing every single password on his phone that is saved, like every single account he has and the email associated with it, so like Bank of America, Amazon, even his Bang Energy password apparently.
Derek would then host a podcast talking about Connor Murphy with another YouTuber who would state that his actions seemed indicative of schizophrenia.
That is psychotic behavior.
Yeah.
That is very indicative of somebody with lingering mental instabilities, such as a family history of schizophrenia.
And while it didn't seem like things could possibly get any worse.
Is this guy like a psycho evaluator or something like that? Or who is this guy? Is this guy What is this guy? Is it Drug Andy?
Such as a family history of schizophrenia.
And while it didn't seem like things could possibly get any worse, they were about to. Connor's audience would come to find out that
I think that's also weird.
Equivalent low after he'd upload a video simply titled Goodbye. In this video, Connor would explain that he felt as though he was going insane, being at his quote mental breaking point.
What is happening? I've gone literally mentally insane.
How?
Over the past few days, I don't understand.
Because I feel like if you're not a professional, making fucking medical conclusions about somebody's fucking mental well-being is kind of odd.
I've hit my mental breaking point.
He'd then go on to state that he was doing anything to try and show his family how to be happy.
For 6 days I've stayed up, I haven't slept. I wrote a 70-page book in 2 days to try to explain happiness to them, and it's crazy, but yeah, I'm crazy, but I just want them to be happy. I'm trying to save their lives. They don't realize how unhappy they are.
Before going on to leak his address.
You can come here to 1671.
After posting his address in a public YouTube video, police would pay him a visit before taking him to a psych ward where he would remain for 2 weeks. In the process, he'd remain in contact with his best friend, who'd state that even after being put in a mental hospital, Connor was unable to stop talking about his spiritual enlightenment.
So Connor spent 2 weeks in a psych ward, and I called him every few days,
Rather, he called me and we talked every few days, and he was able to get to a point where he was able to hold a normal conversation and speak normally, but yet one thing remained the same. The one thing that stayed the same was he just didn't want to talk about anything other than his enlightenment and his awakenment. It seemed to be the only thing that mattered to him.
After being let out of the psych ward, Connor would upload a video titled "Yes, I'm Alive and I'm Sorry," in which he would state that the goodbye video was all an act, done for the purpose of potentially grabbing the attention of a movie studio.
I had this crazy idea. I would make some acting reels that were so dramatic and so controversial that it would grab the attention of producers. And this would be my one final shot at becoming an actor in Los Angeles.
However, at a later date, he'd go on to release the book that he'd been discussing in the original goodbye video.
I wrote a 70-page book in 2 days.
In which he would state that he planned on replicating the path of Jesus by faking his death so more people could focus on his spiritual message. What if I uncovered the true knowledge and was able to spread it to the world? What if I thought up the most mind-blowing YouTube stunt of all time to spread it? What if I could start to awaken other people and change the world? What if I could actually tell the modern day story of Jesus? I had some work to do before showing that the psych ward did little to bring him back to reality, in another statement reading, "I recently had what the doctors called a manic episode and I call a spiritual awakening. Okay, I admit, there might have been some mania involved, but I can promise you not an ounce of it was negative. Perhaps in his own mind, none of it was negative. However, his total subscriber graph told a different story. Since he began to lose his mind in 2020, Connor has lost over 150,000 subscribers and now barely gains over 1 million views per month. He'd also mentioned in a recent video that he didn't have any money left.
The moral of this story is that I'm broke, so if you have a business opportunity for me, maybe you want to help me get some brand deals and make some commission. At this point, I have zero shame and I'm open to pretty much anything.
However, he does sound fairly sarcastic, so this might have been a joke. The silver lining to the story is that Connor has deleted almost all evidence of his crazy spiritual phase, replacing it with fitness content as he had posted in the past. His spiritual channel titled Connor Murphy Talks, on which he used to post incoherent ramblings, went completely silent until 1 month ago, at which point Connor returned with a normal articulate story relating to his high school days, in which he's looking and sounding substantially healthier than he had been 12 months ago. Almost all of his comments discuss the obvious recent improvement in Connor's life, so hopefully his insanity was nothing more than a minor hiccup in what will become an incredibly successful life over the long term.
Holy. Well, I wish we got to see more of that ending. You know, that's the good things.